Hi everybody, this is Rose of Sharon and I'm back again with another movie review. I just watched My Life as a Courgette or My Life as a Zucchini, and I watched the original French version of it, which since my French is very moderate, I understand most of it, but I wasn't expecting to get emotionally wrecked like I did. I mean, I knew kind of what it was going to be about, but I had no idea it was going to be both heartwarming and heartbreaking at the same time. But it's a really exquisite film, and the stop motion is just absolutely beautiful. Voice acting is very organic and natural, because I watched another YouTuber's video about My Life as a Courgette as well, and they said that they sat the children down in settings that would be used in the film, and that just made more sense for them to just, act organically with whatever was around them. I thought, well, yeah, that's actually brilliant, and I absolutely love stop motion, and even though this movie was made in 2016. I think that there's a lot of takeaway from it now, especially with what it covers. And I'm not going to say what, because if you haven't seen it and if you're a fan of animation, especially stop motion, you need to see it, because it is a work of art. It is absolutely beautiful. And it will make you cry. Even if you think that you're hard-hearted, you think, oh, it's some little kid film, it's going to make me. No, this movie, it has this, highs and lows and really heart-touching moments that are very sentimental. But it's just really achingly beautiful, and there's just so much to be said about how magnificent the film really is. And as far as grading it, it easily gets 2 thumbs way up for me. Background music, songs, just the movement of plot, the characters, good, bad, and in between. And you fall in love with Courgette, and you feel for this kid. You really do, and you want him to have the best in life, and especially later on in the film when there's another child that comes into the story, another plot device. Well, she's not really a plot device, but she moves the story along, and she would be what I consider a catalyst in many ways. I guess I just gave you a little bit of a spoiler there, just a tiny one, but not enough for you to really know exactly what I'm talking about, unless you've seen the film and you know exactly what I'm talking about. But oh, this movie was just phenomenal and tremendous from stem to stern, and I just adored every second of it. And easily 2 thumbs up, 5 stars, hands down. No vegging, no nagging, no nothing. There's no lull with it. I mean, it's a quieter film, and there is less said just through the reactions of characters, their emotions, the expressions on their face, versus something actually happening in a scene. And it's surprisingly grown up for a film that is meant for children. But I find this quite common in French film. Just, I don't know why, but I guess Europe is more this way. And I never questioned it, honestly, but it just seems to me that the French people are more open, to be quite frank. I mean, with a lot of the French films I've seen, a lot of them are this way. And I noticed that with Sylvain Chomet, and I just adore. He's one of my absolute favorite directors, and his kind of tongue-in-cheek way of describing things and kind of poking fun at America. I'm like, yeah, Americans are that way. Not all of us, but some of us are. We think we're so self-important, and we are a little bit too big for our britches sometimes, but you know, we mean well. We're good people. Not all of us are ugly Americans like the Triplets of Belleville portrays so incredibly well. And even among Europeans here in France, in this film, you get to see ugly French people too. And you get to see togetherness and brokenness and just nice dichotomies, I think, in symbolism. And it's just really a magnificent film that has both a very uplifting end and one that makes you think, you wonder what occurred with the characters. I mean, as the viewer, it's satisfactory, even though you know for some characters it isn't the happy ending that they hope for. But yet, despite that, there is still family. There is family involved, and it's just like with the boy, the mole, the fox, and the horse. I'm making a parallel here. The boy comes to realize that home isn't a place. Exactly. Home itself are the people who love you, who surround you, who enrich you, who buoy you, and who will tell you the truth even if the truth really hurts and stings. They will be there no matter what. And I found that very, very, very meaningful, especially where I am right now in my life. And coming to realize, yeah, there's certain things that I would really desire, but despite all that, despite what society thinks is normal, society isn't realistic. Society just bends to the whim of whatever's most popular and whatever the trend is, and I'm an outlier, so I'm not going to conform to that kind of setup. No, that I'm totally different. I've been different since I was born. So to see a movie like that, and as well as My Life as a Courgette, it depicts just an interesting relationship that blossoms over time. And like I said, you fall for Courgette. You want the best for him and all the other characters and their idiosyncrasies and just why they are the way they are. And you love them too, even Simon. Even Simon's bully, but you learn about him and realize he's not all bad, and there's a reason why he's kind of being an a-hole. And yeah, he's actually got a good big heart. And just to see him go through his transformation, all the children, it's just so, there's so much truth to that. There's so much truth, because even if we are one way, we can become something else entirely over time. And we can become molded by the people that are around us. And I found that to be true. And in a way, that was family. And we don't know if they ever got out of that situation or not, but I guess as the viewer, you're supposed to make determination whether they did. And in my mind, I like to think that when they got a little bit older, they all kind of left their situation and moved in with families of their own. But maybe I'm optimistic for thinking that. But I mean, the adoption agencies, they got their problems, and they're not perfect. It reminds me quite a bit of Hunt for the Wilder People, and that whole. But I mean, Hunt for the Wilder People is similar in many aspects. It's got some differences, but has the theme is actually very much like My Life as a Courgette, but it's different. Courgette is more serious. It's more you get to see the ugliness of some people that should never have children and why this is. And you want like I said, you really root for these kids. You just want to see them succeed. But it's so good. It really is. I highly recommend this film if you want to see a good premiere of how to really engage your audience, even with very serious topics such as this. Yeah, this is definitely a go-to. And if you're learning French, hey, this is another teaching tool. And as somebody who's trying to become more fluent, yeah, I hearing it in French, I don't know, it was more beautiful to me. Even just tragic, and it's poetic. I like the French language. I think it's very beautiful, and very romantic. But yet it has that kind of pithiness. It's pithy. It's very flowery, but it's also got substance. This movie has a lot of substance. And I think I had to watch it again just to catch all the detail, because there's so much detail, and there are moments that the characters seem like they're made out of felt, and I know they're not. They're made out of clay. And I've seen stuff like with Mad God, and things that are made out of felt and clay and some other elements, but mainly felt. And yeah, I really savored this movie, and I highly recommend it to anybody who is a student of animation or just wanting to see something that's a little bit more grown up, even though it's garnered toward a child audience. It doesn't matter. I was thinking, if you do have kids, I think they would have to be 7 and older, because there's a little bit of straightforward talk here about the birds and the bees. And yeah, I'm sure most kids have heard all that, but if you're not expecting that, then yeah, prepare them for that. It might be a little bit awkward, but hey, you can break the ice over that. So learn together, so as a family. That's about all I have to say about My Life as a Courgette. So until next time, live long, prosper. Ciao, Titi.